Welcome to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton, and welcome to match preview for Everton versus Crystal Palace. Everton's final home game of the season. Absolutely wretched season and an absolutely crucial final home game of the season, that's for sure. I'm joined by James from the Babbling Blues. And we just never hoped it'd come down. We just hoped it'd never come down to this, did we? There's so much to get through, but what's going through your head right now? Because I don't think I know what's going on in my head.
No, my head's mashed. Yeah. I mean, when I was asked if I wanted to come on and talk about it earlier, I started thinking about the game, and I was just knackered. Like even just thinking about it, I was just like
really exhausted
drained.
me thinking of the permutations and
I was, God, it's all. I mean, I'm not as bad as some people have seen. Some people saying they're waking up in the morning or making up in the middle of the night thinking about it, and like I'm not.
I have been.
I'm thankfully I'm not that bad. I might be that bad when it comes down to Wednesday, Thursday, but thankfully I've not done that quite yet. But it's just horrible, isn't it? I mean, when we were in the ground and we were trying to get the lead score through, that was just so stressful. I don't know why Everton didn't have it on. Certainly where I was in the concourse, they didn't have the scores up. They only had the City game on. And I was there thinking, you've got to give us the lead score, surely. And obviously they equalised in the last minute, which is really, really draining and really upsetting. And again, just kind of adds another layer to, as you say, the permutations are just mental because you think that, we actually don't even need any more points and we'll stay up by a couple like we could well do, but you just can't rely on two other teams getting beat and obviously
we've got to get it done.
Games.
Get it done.
Absolutely.
Do the job.
Absolutely.
Do your
for
job.
My money, I think Thursday is the biggest game in the history of Everton Football Club. I think 94 and 98 were obviously huge, but the way football is now and the way that the top six have just gone so far away, there's like this chance of a team breaking in just feels so minimal. And with the stadium on the horizon, all the permutations of modern football, the FFP, all that stuff, I just think this is even more crucial than those two. And I know they were straight shootouts, they were the last game of the season, but I think I've treated this game as the last game of the season for a few weeks now because I just can't see us getting anything against Arsenal. Even if we do,
they've got to win to get top four. So
yeah, exactly. I mean, obviously that can work both ways. You can say, well, they need to win, so they're going to go out and they're going to have to get a win, or they're going to be more open because they know they have to score goals to win the game. I think they have to win like 16-0 or something if Norwich were to somehow get a point off Tottenham. So I don't think that's going to happen. But just in terms of, I'm looking at Palace and Palace only. That's kind of the way I've gone about it. And as you say, just get it done on Sunday because I think we'd need like a 15-goal swing on the last game of the season, which you don't think that's going to happen, do you? You're talking a couple of record-breaking results, pretty much.
The job is done if we win. We still can't be caught. So, just get that job done. And, the players have to stand up and be counted. The players have to show up, whatever happens. And, the fans will almost, without a doubt, pull out all the stops as we have been doing for the home games, even some of the away games. The fans will be out in force, and, the fans will do absolutely everything in our power to try and save our club. We've shown what we've been trying to do in the last few weeks has been incredible, personally. And, it didn't have the desired effect on Sunday. But that wasn't the fans' fault, and that wasn't even to some extent, I mean, you can blame a few players, but it wasn't really the players' fault either. I think we were had off by a shambolic refereeing performance. And I saw a little snippet of someone's made a little bit of a meme on Twitter of someone put it, did somebody say just cheat with a load of referees? And someone said, get that made into a banner, and absolutely get that made into a banner.
Yeah.
I'd get that out on show.
That, would they?
I'd have that out on show. Honestly.
Yeah, well, I think they didn't like the corrupt flag we had out the other week, did they? But as you say, I came away from the ground. I wasn't disappointed in any players other than, maybe one or two. It certainly wasn't a team effort that got us beat. It was just the referee. And at the end of the day, referees, over the course of 38-game season, we always say, oh, well, Everton are in this position because it's their fault. And that's how Everton are going to go down because they've not been good enough.
To an extent it is. But the referees have kicked us when we're down constantly throughout the season.
I think because Everton, what I would say is I think Everton have done enough to not be in this position. Everton have done enough to be on 40 points and be crap, be terrible, be really poor over the course of the season, but have enough to be saying right now, yeah, we're safe. Let's just get the season over and done with. The atmosphere would be very different. The mood would be very different. Fans would be angry and there'd be sort of protests and everything. I'm sure it would be, but at least we'd be safe. Like that's all we want. And I think if you're looking at the City decision and the Tottenham decision and both Brentford games, and it's just match-changing, game-changing decisions that have gone massively against us. And I think the one on Sunday is the biggest yet. I think probably the Rodri handball is probably the worst one yet in terms of being the most blatant, and that could be another point on the board. It might have affected how he'd gone on the games after that. There's just so
that
many
one, but that
permutations.
game we were cruising to victory on Sunday, and then that happened. And that is why we have to take control of our destiny. If someone wants to put Premier League corrupt and show evidence of us being ripped off and put banners up about it, do it. Because it might make a referee think twice about giving a dodgy decision against us again.
I mean, I might be looking at this with Everton tinted glass on, but I can't think of many, if any, controversial knife edge decisions that have gone for us this season. Like at the end of the day, I don't think on Sunday it's the world's most blatant penalty, but it is definitely a penalty. There's no doubt about it. It's not like a Stonewall 10 out of 10. Everyone on the ground knows it's a penalty. But when you see it on the replay, everyone knows it's a penalty. But I don't want to call it a knife edge decision, but there have been so many which have just gone against us this season. And I mean, even someone getting sent off against us, when was the last time that happens? You know, there's been, again, 2 or 3 instances where that definitely could happen, whether it's Mane or John Joe Shelby or whoever. There's instances where it should have happened for this season.
The amount of red cards we've had, and like, I mean, Brantwaite was a red card if you ignore the penalty decision before it. Rondon's was a red, but all the other ones that I recall before that, Alan's wasn't. Michael Keane's 2 yellows weren't 2 yellows. John Joe Kenny's 2 yellows weren't 2 yellows. You know, I think
we had a streak, didn't we? We were getting someone sent off every week, and it was just like
it's Michael Oliver every time. He said every time he's actually been the actual man in the middle, he sent someone off. Yeah. It's insane.
You know, I mean, I don't like the idea of sort of thinking that particular referees are out to get a club, but then when you see him cutting about in the Newcastle top on nights out, and or I think he was at the Newcastle match last night, it does just kind of make you think, well,
why is he refereeing in the league that this team are playing in?
Well, exactly, whether it's that or whether it's why is he refereeing when Newcastle and Everton have got a bit of a history of not particularly liking each other the way the last game when we played against them. I just can't really understand. And you can say you can't avoid it or whatever, but I think Mike Dean's not doing a Liverpool game tonight, and it's like his whole family's from Liverpool. You know, it's like
Mike Dean's doing our VAR on Thursday for this game.
He is, yeah. He did give us a decision earlier this season, I think, Mike Dean. I can't remember.
It was the Burnley game, which we actually lost.
Yeah, that was it. The Burnley
game was the penalty.
Of course. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think I remember thinking, well, I'm shocked he's given us those, even though they were 2 very obvious penalties. I was very surprised he gave us those. But as you say, I think on Sunday we were cruising, weren't we? I tweeted about it earlier. It was party atmosphere. It was like, it was great. It was as if we qualified for like the Champions League or something. It was like when we played Newcastle sort of 15, 16 years ago, whenever it was. And you know, people were singing Spirit of the Blues on the Gladys. Everyone was stood up. There's pyros all over the gas, smoke bombs. The team were playing well, and then it gets changed like that. And
the referee decides to spoil it because he wants a different outcome. And this is what happens when we can't stand back and take this anymore. You know, Frank Lampard can't say a word or he'll get fined. The owners can't say a word or they'll probably get sanctioned. We as the fans need to speak up for our club. If someone's going to put that banner in the crowd, do it. Absolutely. If you're listening to this, do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, I think I saw...
Cover every base. Don't give the referee get in the referee's head. Don't let him give a decision against us when he could be in 2 minds. You know, swing things in our favour, whatever we can do. We've done it with the pyros. We've tried to lift the players. We've done it with fireworks, trying to disrupt the other players and their sleeping patterns, whatever. Do it with the referees as well. Everything in our power we can do it. We've got to do it.
Absolutely, and it will be the difference in the end between staying up and going down, I think, because, you know, if they've given the penalty to Brentford or whatever and we concede and it goes to 1-1, it's 11v11 and we're going to lose that game, sure, whatever, we haven't played well enough, he'd out-coached us, he'd out-fought us, whatever it might be, that's fine. But the fact that it was 10v11, the game is just... In fact, we had no centre-backs to bring on, and I just think the fact that Brentford are too good in possession, it just meant that with the fact that we had a striker up front who wasn't fit, and we've got players like Anthony Gordon who get really, really knackered after sort of 60, 65 minutes, Andre Gomez. It was just never going to happen for us, and they're bringing centre-mids on to play centre-back just to ping the ball about, make us tired, and at the end of the day, they played it well, and they won the game, and that's the outcome that was deserved after the red card. But obviously, as you said, as we both said so far, it doesn't feel like we came at the ground blaming the players, blaming the manager. It was all on two men. It was the fellow VAR, I think it was Darren England, who didn't tell him to go look at the monitor. I can't believe that. And then obviously Michael Oliver. I just sort of think that if he gives a penalty, it could stay 1-0. You could give a penalty, it could stay 1-0. The game's fine, whatever. It could be 2-0, whatever. The game's still fair, it's still even. But then if you're giving away a red card, they nearly scored the free kick, obviously, but the game then goes to 10-11. The whole complexion just shifts and changes.
It wasn't like Alan or anything either, where it was a red card in the 70th, 80th minute where you could have seen it out. We were playing 70 minutes of Premier League football with 10 men.
And a right back, a centre back, a centre mid, come right midfielder, right back. Another centre mid who's not played for 6 weeks. All over the park, it was just an absolute mess. And then obviously when Rondon gets sent off, the game was gone then already, really, wasn't it? And then obviously Calvert-Lewin got injured as well, so we basically ended the game with eight players running about, and obviously the goalie. So it was just never going to happen after that. But obviously Thursday's a new game. Thursday's a new day. Everyone's really nervous now, but I just hope and I think everyone will wake up on Thursday morning and just kind of feel this vindication, this sort of like, we're not going to get beaten tonight. We're going to go out and win the game.
And we've got to go with that mindset. We have got to go and fight every last ounce we've got for our club. It's our club. We're not going to stand back and let them dictate our destiny. We will keep our club up. That's what
we'll got to be on to the Garden Street, whatever it might be. We'll make it happen, and that's just what I hope everyone sort of wakes up feeling like on Thursday. Because I know we're all nervous now. We're all seeing our arse. We're all feeling our undies, whatever it might be. We're all really shaky, not looking forward to it. But come 5, 6 o'clock, when everyone's flocking down to Goodison, I'm sure everyone will be there, standing on the terrace together, and it's not going to be easy. Palace are a decent side, but I think they've only won 4 away games all season. So let's just make sure we get the job done. Suck a goal onto the Gladys Street, bring someone on, make them the hero. I don't care how it happens, just make it happen on Thursday, because it's now or never. Do or die.
Get the job done. Boo every single touch a Crystal Palace player makes, even if we go a goal down. Keep it going. Like I say, get these banners out showing how corrupt the referees are. Do it. Do everything we can do. The pyros, I don't think that's in doubt. I think we'll all be there. We'll do everything we can. That's all we can do. We just have to give absolutely everything and produce a platform that our players can thrive in and their players won't be able to cope with.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm seeing people say, if we do stay up next season, let's really go for it. Let's just do all this all again. Let's not act like we're only going to be this sort of level of fandom because the odds are against us. Obviously, it's very hard to support a team like that when you come in 10th, 11th, 12th in the Premier League. I get that, and it's really disappointing. We've stagnated for so long, no matter who the manager's been, who the players have been, who the owner's been. We've stagnated for far too long now. But if we stay up, it just sort of feels like we've got some decent players going into next season. Players like Patterson coming back in, and you never know, of like Gabamon and Sims coming back into the fold. You just think, get a couple more players into this team, the way Lampard's showing he can play, whether it's defensively or offensively. There's just so much going forward to next season that I just hope we can really sort of nurture and flourish with. But we have to get the job done on Thursday, and then make Sunday, a game about just celebrating the fact that we've come out of this the other side. Everyone thought we were going to be in this situation at the start of the season, not quite as bad as it's sort of transpired, but I think we were all sort of crying in a little bit when we saw Benitez and the signs.
I predicted 14th, and my God, I wish that was true.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, at the start of the season, everyone was saying it. Then after 6 games, it looked sound. It looked like we were going to be okay. We'd probably finish in the top half, maybe. But we just tailspinned. And at the end of the day, Lampard's, turned the tanker around. They just need to get it around that last corner. Then hopefully it's, clear blue skies ahead, so to speak.
Yeah, I think for me, what is most important for us now is for how hard we've worked to get out of the relegation zone and not get back into it. We've worked so hard to get ourselves back out of trouble, and you consider where we were after the Liverpool game and the West Ham and Burnley games, and you think where we were then to where we are now. We've worked so hard, we as fans, the players as well, to get ourselves out of that mess, and we should not allow these referees to deny us the chance to stay up. That is, the fans have got to be as defiant as ever. Leave nothing to chance. have the fire absolutely raging in you. Do not let the Palace players breathe when they have the ball. Make it absolute hell for them and make it an easier platform for our players to flourish.
Yeah, we just got to think as well. At the end of the day, we've beaten Arsenal, we've beaten United, we've beaten Chelsea, we've drawn with Spurs. We should have got a point against City. You know, we've played the biggest team in the league. We've got a really good record at home against them. And you just sort of think, well, you know, we've been beaten by Villa, we've been beaten by Wolves, we've been beaten by other teams sort of in and around there at home, and you know, like Brighton, for example, it's been really disappointing against those teams. We just got to think, look, we can beat the big teams. Surely we can beat this lot on Thursday. I know they're a decent side and they got some decent players, but they're nothing special. And at the end of the day,
they're a really good team. I rate them. But what we've got to do is make that stadium so frigging intimidating that those players don't feel safe on the ball. They've got to feel terrified every time they take a touch that someone from the crowd's going to leg it on the pitch and do a 2-footed tackle on them. I don't know, but like something like they've got to feel like they are not safe in that stadium. They've got to like feel that they can't take a touch of the ball or else they're going to get rammed into next week, you know.
I think the fact it's a night game as well is just kind of like
it adds to it, I guess.
For decades, yeah, we've spoken about these famous nights under the lights at Goodison, and you know, just this kind of feeling of when we played against Newcastle, it felt like that, where the crowd was just so volatile, and especially when Alan got sent off, the crowd was just so angry and like fit to burst. And obviously, we get the win. There's people on the pitch, there's people celebrating all over the gaff. You're ending up rows and seats away from where you started, and it's like, I don't want to go to that late, obviously, but it's just kind of that feeling of we've been fit to burst a lot this season. We brought out some big moments, and we just need one more, don't we?
That is what we need to do again. Is like you say, those final minutes of the Newcastle game, and you know that anger that we need to have that sort of be channeling anger in a way that lifts our team. But this time, and it's a tough ask, but it can be done. Do it for 90 minutes because there should be enough anger in all of us as supporters. If not for the whole season, certainly for that Brentford game, there should be enough anger in us as supporters to make life a living hell for both the Crystal Palace players and also for the referee. Do not give the referee one jot of a chance to make a bad decision against us. Dodgy sendings off, dodgy penalties, anything like that.
Well, even just stuff like that. I mean, even the first goal on Sunday comes from a corner, which never was. And it's not easy to see to the naked eye, but at the end of the day, Mykolenko shepherds the ball out because he thinks it's going to be our ball, and he gives a corner, and he's just guessing. And you look on the replay, it's clearly our ball, and you're just thinking, why is he not giving it to the defending team? And at the end of the day, on Thursday, make it that intimidating, that hostile, that volatile, that
those kind of things our way, swing in our favour.
Fine margins, yeah, exactly. Just make it go our way. And I was, you know, sort of thinking about it as well, and how we've been, you know, almost on like this downward spiral in many ways ever since, you know, that Crystal Palace game under Roberto Martinez, where if we won that game, we probably would have gotten the Champions League, and the butterfly effect, the club might have gone in an entirely different direction. You never know. I mean, obviously, I know with Martinez.
That's well in the past, though. This is what we're talking about tonight. Sorry, on Thursday night, is making this an absolute fucking bear pit.
It's exactly, and it's just like that idea of, you know, at the end of the day, we just need to get one over on these guys on Thursday and just make it sort of our day on Thursday and just put this all to bed now, because
get it done. Get it done.
Yeah, it's consuming everyone, and it's horrible to see, really, because when you are seeing people saying they've been up all night thinking about tossing and turning, and it's not nice, because at the end of the day, it's only football, but you just see how much it means to everyone and the emotion. And yeah, I say one more big push on Thursday.
It's our club, and you know, it's what we live for, I guess, on the weekends, and we want our team to do well, and we love our club, and you know, we want to try and save it from a fate that it doesn't deserve. I mean, some people at the club maybe deserve it, but we as fans don't deserve it, and you know, we're the ones who'll fight the fight right until the very end, and we will. Like, there's no doubt about that.
I'm already getting just butterflies just thinking about it, because it is just, it just consumes you. And I'm thinking as well, I'm in work at 8 o'clock on Thursday, so I'm going to be thinking about it all day, right up until 10, 11 o'clock at night. If we were to win the game and there's a lap of appreciation in the end, you're not getting home till like midnight. Do you know what I mean? It's just going to consume the whole day. It's going to be a horrible nerve jangling sort of fest of nerves. But
I haven't slept a blooming
you're
jot
trying,
since
aren't you?
Sunday. I'm not gonna lie, mate. Sunday night I didn't sleep an absolute wing, and I think Wednesday will probably be not far off it.
Yeah, I think on Wednesday that'll be the big one, won't it? But God, it's just what a horrible situation to be in. But if it goes to Sunday, then not even just whether I think we'll be done for on Sunday, but it's just like the nerves would just be
unbearable. And I don't think I'd sleep a wink any night between then and then.
No,
to be honest, if it went down to that. So come on, Everton, let me have a bit of a kick. Come on, just win a game of football, please. Just let me get my head down.
Yeah.
If nothing else, I love me sleep.
Horrible to think about, but we're nearly there now. One more big 90 minutes, and then hopefully it's just that's it, finished, and we learn lessons, and we never end up in this situation ever again. Because at the end of the day, we played
absolutely.
We played more top flight games than anyone else, and we just need to keep doing that. That's what's going to happen. And that's what we want to see transpire on Thursday night.
One very serious and very potentially depressing point I need to make is that if Thursday night doesn't go well, it could be the last time that Goodison Park ever sees top flight football.
I did see that, and that would just be
a travesty for one of football's greatest arenas. Let's be honest, it is.
If we went down, give it to someone else. Give it to give it to Burnley or someone. It's got to stay in the Premier League. It's the best place to watch football I've ever seen, and the way it's been this season, whether it's Chelsea or Arsenal or Leicester or whatever game it might have been this season, where we've given a late show or got a good win or whatever, it's just been rocking. It's been bouncing. It's been the loudest place I've ever felt in my life. It's one of the great arenas of not just English football, European football, in terms of the history and what it means, and the fact that it remains sort of relatively untouched for so long, and the fact that it's just it felt like a relic of a bygone era for the last 5-6 years. But this past 6 months, it's got its spirit back, it's got its vibrancy back, and it's down to the fans at the end of the day who've done it, and a manager who sort of brought them in and made you all feel like you're part of a team. And I think Thursday, if it does go well, which is what we all want it to happen, I think it'll be the noisiest, most boisterous place I've ever experienced in my life, I'm sure.
I think that's the one thing I will say. It's very depressing to think about the outcome if we lost, and like I say, if that is the last time we ever see top flight football at Goodison. But if it does end up being that, and we don't want it to be, sing your heart out for 90 minutes regardless, even if the result isn't right. At least it'll be the send-off it deserves.
Yeah, exactly. What I would say, I don't want to say we're on the pitch if we do win it. That wouldn't be ideal. I just want us to enjoy it if we do.
I really do not care. Win the game. Worry about what you do after the final whistle blows after that. Win the game. End the story. That is... Doesn't matter how.
Thinking about it.
Just get it done.
It'd be some time for someone to be a hero, wouldn't it?
Seriously. And on that note, we will actually talk about the team. Who do you expect to see in the lineup?
Well, I think the sort of back five could pick itself, isn't it? I think you said Keane's going to be fit, which is a massive relief. I don't know what you do if Keane wasn't playing. You're talking Pickford, Coleman, Keane, Holgate, Mikalenko, and then I don't know. I kind of want to maybe just match them 4-3-3. If Calvert-Lewin's fit, have him up front with Richarlison. If not, maybe Richarlison, Greg Gordon, Iwobi, Alan, Decore, maybe in the midfield. I think
that would be, wouldn't it? What else is there left? We haven't got a lot going.
It's unless Webber goes to a 5, but we have to win, don't we? I mean, I think if I got to win, we should match them. Get your personal duels up there. At least say Mikalenko, Zaha, and Coleman, or vice versa, whatever it might be. That's just what we've got to hope for. That's what I'd go for. And I'd bring Iwobi back into the middle. I think he's going to have a really important part to play in the game. So, a pitch invasion then.
Basically, we've just got to get the job done. And on that note, Willie, what's your prediction?
Actually, watching the highlights from when we beat West Ham, I think it was 6-0 in '99 when Kevin Campbell came and saved us. And I was thinking, imagine if we were to pull off something like that, we just think, what was all the worry for? But we never do it the easy way, do we? So I'll go 1-0. I'll go 1-0 late winner, and the proverbial roof will just come off Goodison, and we'll sing them to victory. That's what I'm hoping for. I hope it's a lot easier than that. I hope it's a lot more safe now. Something like the Leeds game would be nice, wouldn't it? If we're a couple of goals up.
It's not going to be. It's not going to be.
No, there's no chance.
Yeah, for me, it has to be. I hope. I'm going to say we win 2-1. I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to ebb and flow a bit, but I'm hoping, like I say, that the fans are there in full voice. The fans cover every base, and I mean that. Get that Premier League is corrupt, just cheat banner up,
yeah,
on the Gladys on the park end, so the cameras pick it up, so the referee can see it when he walks out onto the pitch. So make sure the referee doesn't even dare give anything against us. Honestly, we've got to cover everything we can do. And of course, that goes without saying what else we've already been doing. Greet the bus. There's no doubt about that. The bus greeting, the pyros, the flags, the banners, get them all out, pull out all the stops. We can't let this club die.
That's what I think it'd do if it went down. I can't see how we cease to exist as far as I can see with the finances and everything that's going on with that in the stadium. I think we'd really, really struggle to even sort of compete if the unthinkable happens. Let's just forget about it and let's get it done on Thursday.
Get the job done. No ifs, no buts. And we as fans can't let up. I've got to really hammer this home. Don't let the referee give something against us that deflates the crowds. Don't let it happen. We've got to do everything in our power to keep Goodison bouncing for 90 minutes. Even if the score's still drawing or even losing by a goal, just keep going. Don't give up. Never, ever give up. And we'll get out of this. We will. Exactly. That's all I've got to say now. I think
that's your rally call. Yeah, I agree with every word.
I'm tearing purple just talking about Everton, mate. We'll have to end it here. But there you go, guys. Let us know your opinions as well going into this game, how you're feeling, get yourself fired up a little bit, maybe like I clearly have over the past half an hour or so. Drop us a comment. Let us know your predictions. Get all that in. Give us a like. Subscribe for more content. Check out the store as well. The link's in the description below. Until next time, guys, thanks for watching on the Toffee Blues.